everybody, Laura here for Simon Says Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a couple of fun projects to share with you using the newest Made to Flourish August card kit. First thing I'm going to do is take the panel of distressed watercolor cardstock that came in the kit, and I'm going to cut it down to a little A2 panel. So 5.5 long, 4 1/4 wide. And the distressed watercolor cardstock has two sides to it. One side is textured and the other side is smooth. It's very bright white. Love to use it. Today I'm going to do the textured side. Then I'm taking a little stencil packaging. Doesn't matter what product, I'm just using some packaging. And I'm going to do this to do a little watercolor technique. I'm using the distress crayons that came in my card kit. Now, I know the crayons varied by color. The three that came in my kit are Festive Berries, Fossilized Amber, and Mowed Lawn. So those are the three that I'm using. You could also just use watercolors that you have, or even a lot of times I've done this with my inks. I smush them. I smush an ink onto a stamp packaging or onto a glass work surface. And then you pick it up with a wet brush. And I'm also using, by the way, the watercolor brush pen that came in the card kit. Did I mention this month's card kit was out of sight? Out of sight. Amazing. Okay, here I am with the Fossilized Amber doing the same thing. I just scribbled a little scribble onto the packaging, got it nice and wet, and I'm coming in onto the watercolor cardstock. The nice thing is when it's wet, you can get a little transition between the red and the yellow and try to make a little orange. I showed this same technique in the card kit reveal. Here I'm doing a much larger scale for a background on a card. You could also add more colors. Maybe you want to have a little blue and a purple. Maybe you want pink. You can use inks you have, or if you have other distressed crayons you have. This is very, very soft and subtle, and once it dries, it's going to lighten up even more. So even though I liked how this was, I went ahead and took a dry paper towel, cleaned off my packaging, and I'm going to do a round two. I'm not sure if I really needed to do that, but you know, when you get playing and you just feel like, you know what, maybe I can make it a little bit more intense. Another thing you can do, which I showed in the card kit reveal video, is you could scribble your crayon right onto the watercolor cardstock and kind of smear it out, blend it out with the water brush. I get a little timid with that because you just, you know, sometimes, I don't know, I feel like I don't have control. Here I like to work on the packaging. I'm not sure. You know, you just got to play around with it. Another thing I showed was the smushing. So you scribble like I do on the packaging and then just take that puddle of color and smush it onto your watercolor cardstock. That's another beautiful technique. Gives you a real organic look. Love that one too. So here I just did another just kind of go with the colors, mostly over onto the left side. I kind of was thinking make the left side darker, right side lighter. I'm going to set that panel aside to dry. While that's drying, I'm going to work on another panel. Here I trimmed a little piece of Hammermill white cardstock, smaller, and I'm going to blend here starting with Peony. I'm using all Pawsitively saturated inks by Simon Says Stamp. I'm using one of the large Simon Says Stamp blender brushes. Here I go into grapefruit, so it's going to be pink, orange, and yellow. And if I forget to mention a supply or an ink color or a product that I'm using, everything I'm using will be listed in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube. Here I'm coming in with Lemonade, and I switched over to the Rainbow Splash large blender brushes. I just kind of go over to my blender brushes and I grab one that looks like it's a similar color. And then this is one of the a la carte items, the Darling Patterns stencil set. I'm using the polka dots. The Darling Patterns stencil set had polka dots, hearts, and stars. You could do this same technique with any one of those or any stencil that you have. Do a light wash first, lay down your stencil, go over it with the same colors, just a little heavier handed, so it's going to be a darker tone. And I love this look. It's kind of a tone on tone. It gives you pattern, but it's not too contrasty. It's not too overwhelming or overbearing, I guess is the word. So I have the peony, the grapefruit, and the lemonade. Same brushes, same ink colors, just going a little bit darker. And you'll see here when I remove the stencil that it's just the subtlest, most party poppin', happy, dreamy background. I love it. Okay, so there you have background number 2. And then I'm going to stamp some images from the Made to Flourish stamp set included in the card kit. So there are all these jars or vessels down on the bottom. I'm going to use the third one and stamp this little jar. I decided to stamp it with seafoam ink because it's soft and subtle. And I do think that when you look at a jar, it's kind of a bluish color. Am I right? Or maybe like a soft gray, bluish. You could also stamp it with black, but sometimes black feels a little bit harsh to me. I even thought about embossing it in white onto vellum. I got another little panel of white cardstock. By the way, all the white cardstock that I stamp on is Hammermill. These are some little, what do you call these? Are these lilacs, hydrangeas? I'm not sure. Little flower puffs that were in the Made to Flourish. And what I'm doing here is adding the ink to the stamp with a small blender brush. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to do a two-tone bloom. And this is the easiest way to add 2 colors to your stamp and get a smooth look between the 2 colors. So I use lilac and heather. One's like a warm purple and one is kind of a periwinkle blue purple situation. And I'm just going over again with same colors just to make the bottom maybe just slightly darker. Okay, I like how this looks because you know, I don't know if they're lilacs or hydrangeas, but you can get those two-toned looking ones that are kind of bluish purpley pink. I love those. Okay, so I did one with kind of lighter tones. Now I'm going to do one with darker. So I went with amethyst, still using the same small blender brush just to dab on one side, and then iris. Now these are the darkest shade in these color families. Dabbing that over on the other side. And the reason I dab is to get a nice smooth, trying to get a nice smooth transition between the 2 colors. And it seems to work a little better than dabbing the ink pad onto the stamp. I find when I dab the ink pad onto the stamp, I'll get a harsh line. But if I use the small blender brush, it's just smoother. And so this little bloom here is just a darker shade. So I wanted one to be lighter and one to be darker. And I'm using the coordinating dies, which I love that the coordinating dies are included in the kit. And then the coordinating die for this jar. I'll take these off camera, run them through my die cutting machine. And so here you have the 2 blooms and the jar. Now one thing I decided to do is take another bloom that had a stem in the stamp set. I'm using Dublin ink and I just put it on an acrylic block. I'm going to stamp a couple stems. I just felt like it looked a little bit odd without having a couple stems going into the jar. So I just quickly, just a couple stems, made me feel better. I'm not really sure. And then another thing I decided to do was blend on the jar, almost like it was see-through. I'm going to use the same colors that are in the background, the peony and the grapefruit, going very, very light-handed here just to get a little wash of peony and grapefruit. And then I'll put the jar on that background panel where I think I'm going to place it, and then take my stencil and line it up where I had it before, and I'm just going to press this down. I probably should have used Post-it tape and temporarily adhered the jar so it didn't shift, but I didn't. I just held it down with my finger, and I'm going back over with the peony and the grapefruit to make the polka dots so it kind of camouflages. It's all in the same position that it was before, and it gives the illusion that the jar is see-through. At least that was my that was my hope. I think it worked pretty good, and it's just a fun, just little technique to do. So see how this looks like it's like you could see through the jar, I think. Anywho, I'm gonna pop this up, but before I do that, I'll pop up my panel, my blended background panel, with some foam tape onto an A2 white card base. I use the 3D foam squares, which by the way also come in the card kit. These are the thin ones. I line that up with the pattern, And then I'll use some 3D foam squares for the little blooms. I use the thin ones for that layer, and the thick, I had some thicker black 3D foam squares because this one is a little bit, you know, in front of the other. Okay, and then I bend it a little bit because I like to bend anytime I have a flower. I'm going to stamp a sentiment from the Made to Flourish with Peony ink. I'm doing another type of camouflage with my sentiment. I just wanted to do something that kind of blended in and didn't really stick out too much. So I went over it with that pink brush. I didn't even add any ink to the pink brush. I just used what was left over on the brush. Blended pink, popping this up right below. And this card is finished. It says, "Blooming with Gratitude." I love how that jar looks see-through. Okay, while we were working, our watercolor panel dried. I'm going to use the, what is this called? The Tim Holtz Sizzix Bloom Colorized Thinlits die set that came in the card kit. There are a ton of dies in here. And for most of the blooms and the leaves, you can layer like 3 different layers. I'm not going to use all the layers. I'm using less. I'm getting tired and I'm worn out. No, I just felt like a simpler design. So you can add as much or as little. You see all the ones that I put over on the left are dies that I'm not using, if that makes sense. So we've got some green leaves. I didn't use all of them. This is the little bloom sprig. And I did here have the yellow accents for that bloom. And then the kind of tealy aqua foliage branch. Okay, so first here is the rose. I'm going to call it a rose. I did a light pink and a darker pink, 2 shades for the green. Basically, I did 2 layers for each thing instead of 3. And then another thing I did here, a little addition, is blend. Since I had my inks out, had them handy, I blended a little peony on one side and a little grapefruit on the other. And I just think that just wakes it up. I don't know, for me, that just made me happy. I also blend a little bit of that peony onto the second layer. Just on the bottom, just to give a little gradient love. Okay, then I'm using my glue here. I say this all the time, but recently I've been trying this out. Maybe you have. I'm kind of late to the party, but the Gina K glue bottles, the little mini glue bottles, and I filled it with Barely Arts glue, and I've been loving it. Okay, then we got the little centers. There's actually 3 layers to the center, but I'm only using 2. So I'm simplifying it, showing you a simpler version. You can do as much or as little as your heart desires. Adding a little more blending here. You'll see to every little die cut piece, I kind of blend a little bit on it. Because once you start blending, then you might as well blend on everything to make it consistent. Okay, so here I'm gluing on the darker tone to this kind of, I think some of these cardstocks are Concord 9th. I'll link up an assortment pack of Concord 9th cardstock. I'm using the Simon Says Stamp reverse tweezers, which are one of my favorite tools, becoming one of my most used tools, along with the bone folder and the embellishment wands. But look at how this little bouquet comes together over top of that watercolor background. It looks really, really pretty. Here we have 2 shades of yellow for the blooms. And I'm just gluing these all on. I don't show all of the gluing, but you get the idea. I glue on the pieces and I layer them up. Once I get everything glued on, then I'm going to add some little ink blending additions. You don't really have to, but you know how it is. Once you get started, once you get going, you just can't stop. Okay, last little layer to that itty bitty bud. Now I pulled out artichoke ink to blend a little something on this little green leafy cluster. Is that what you call it? A little green leafy cluster. I used artichoke ink and one of the small Simon Says Stamp blender brushes. I'll tell you what, it has been hot here in Minnesota the last couple of days, getting up to 90. And I'll tell you, I'm not loving it. And neither is Hank. Poor Hank. He likes to go outside and lay in the grass. He doesn't even want to do that. And I walk him in the morning. I walk him, but we come home just a sweating. It takes him a good hour to stop panting. My daughter recently at Walmart bought him a cooling blanket. It's just like this small little blanket that stays cool. You don't put it in the fridge or anything. It's like the material. I don't know how it does it, but it always stays cool. Well, we lay that down for him, and he'll lay on the floor next to it. It's the story of our life. Every time one time we tried to buy a dog bed, and every time we lay down the dog bed, and he would lay right next to it. Never on it, just next to it. It's just like defiance. You know what I mean? Anywho, so there we have our leaves and our blooms all a little blended. I used some of the Big Mama foam tape to pop this up onto one of the fog. In the card kit came an A2 fog pre-scored note card. For the sentiment, I'm using the Darling Script Greetings 1 die set. I'm going to make this a thank you card. So I did the shadow backer out of vellum and the word die out of matte gold. I forgot to mention my watercolor panel there. I trimmed it down a little bit so that you could see that fog, card base. I love a fog with a white or a cream with a white. Love a neutral on neutral. Okay, so gluing down the thank you, I put some little slivers of foam tape and just to pop this up, and I'm gonna finish it off with a few clear sequins. Love how this turned out. I think that watercolor background is what really makes it here. And also adding a bit of blending to the die cuts just kind of brought them to life. So one last little itty bitty sequin up there on the right, and this card is finished. So which one do you like better? Do you like the thank you here with that watercolor background, the blended die cuts, the matte gold vellum sentiment? Or do you like the jar one, which is kind of cool because the jar looks see-through? I hope you enjoyed this video, gave you a little inspiration using the new Made to Flourish August card kit. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.
Hi, I'm Heidi, founder of SimonsSaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.